You're saying something?
I'm saying something right now.
That's right, because we're on. Hey, Dex, how are you?
Oh man, I'm happy to be alive, dude. A lot of first world problems, so happy to be here, man. How you doing? Had to do the tie dye with you, obviously.
Yes, I love it with the A8 Labs medallion on the chain.
Oh, this is don't get it twisted. This is Alchemist, man. This is the OG. But we make sure that there is change for all.
Always a good time with
All
Dax
right.
Miller here at Sprocketeer. Hello, Sprocketeers out there. Spinny, spinny. Say it with me, Dax. It's gonna be our
Spinny, spinny.
spinny, spinny. More context at inbound and through inbound, but spinny, spinny to all you Sprocketeers. We love you. We're here for you. What we're doing today is we're hosting another masterclass. Sprocketeer does a couple things, but first off, let's just say Sprocketeers are passionate HubSpot power users. They're these people who know a lot about HubSpot. We love making portals either grow or work really well. But beyond that, we like to talk about it. We like to collaborate with each other. And so we identify as a Sprocketeer because of how we show up. And Dax is the epitome of what it means to be a Sprocketeer showing up.
I
What
love when
is
you
this
say
for us,
showing up,
Dax?
man. This is just a regularly scheduled Tuesday. Is what it is.
regularly
Uh,
tune into your
this is
regularly
what we do.
scheduled program.
Yeah, this is what we do. So today we're going to talk about something cool, something near and dear to my heart. We're going to talk about this guy right here, originally from Alchemist. Over here, can I do my mirroring? That's Alchemist. That's A Labs. This is Timerman, and Timerman is what we're going to be talking about today. It is, man. Oh, this I can sit here for an hour
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
soapbox and talk about what this is, but we only had a little bit of time, so let's talk about what Timerman is. So Timerman is a way that can time. It's an app in the HubSpot ecosystem that can time tickets and deals to the minute. So what we do is every time a ticket is or a deal is somewhere, we kind of take that minute and we log that minute into a bucket, whether it be a pause time bucket or a bucket for the stage, right? So we obviously HubSpot has come out with an SLA, but we like to call this advanced SLA. But it's more than SLA. It's actually about the timing. So a little bit of backstory of how this came up. Myself, I'm a part of Tyrone. Pre-Alchemist days, it was the year 2019. COVID was just a twinkle in a scientist's eye at that point. But we had a client. It was Timerman actually goes way back to 2019, where we had a client that we built the customer service portal app for, and they also asked about SLA and how do they know how long a ticket has been in a given stage. They served. They were an outsourced IT management company in Scottsdale, Arizona. VIA, shout out to the VIA for this. They manage a lot of schools and their IT and their computers. So they would need people to not only see their tickets, which we built the portal for, pre HubSpot portal, but they also had SLAs that they owed to their clients based upon contractual times they needed to respond and close out tickets. So obviously this wasn't a thing back in 2019, so we ended up building it. Lo and behold, I really wanted to get this app out a long time ago, but this I believe it was about maybe 6 to 8 months ago.
hmm
We are able to put this and publicize this into the ecosystem to help a lot of people with not only their SLA, with their advanced SLA, but their timing. So without further ado, let's just jump into kind of go from this top of what this looks like when you install, and then let's talk about some of the things that you could actually do with it. Because Service Hub, everyone knows Service Hub needs a little help, and
right.
we're here to help it. It's up to us. It's up to us. It's not up to HubSpot. HubSpot is a platform. It's up to us, the Sprocketeers, the Aid Labs, the Alchemists, the Aptitude Eights, all the agencies of the world that are
hmm
building products. It's about how we can make things better in our hands. So I shall share my screen. I
Love
will
that. As
attempt
you're
to share my screen.
Dex, as you're sharing your screen, for those of you listening, Sprocketeers, so a couple things to call out what Dax just said. One, there's an origin story of a need, which I always love having that to first and foremost. But then two, it's not SLAs and okay, well, we have that, so we don't need this. It's SLAs down to the minute, and there's some other features. So if you're thinking, hey, I know what that is, I can do that already, pay attention, stay tuned, because Dax has a couple things up his sleeve to show you about what Timerman can do. Let me get
Oh
your
yeah, that's
stream pulled up. All right, we can see your screen.
perfect. So yeah, so let's talk about what HubSpot does out of the box with SLA. Within the conversation inbox, you can you can see the time that goes off, and you can assign an SLA to a low, a medium, or a high priority ticket. So you basically get three options. With Timerman, you get unlimited options, as many as good as a workflow as you can build for the assignment of SLAs is how many SLAs you can do. So, for example, I can do an SLA that says if the company is Coca-Cola and the ticket owner is Grant and the state is Illinois and the city is Chicago. I can have an SLA specifically for that. So we assign SLAs based upon HubSpot workflows. But let's take it from the beginning. So again, what you're able to do is you're able to audit tickets or deals or both if you're on an enterprise level, and you'll have a log of everything that has been audited. So you actually can see every single time when we say audit, we say like what time, like something happened. So we changed and looked at the time to get real nerdy with it and why this app is really powerful. And it was I would say it's a work of art that's been taking a long time. But we actually go back to the epoch, the origin epoch of a ticket and take every single minute and say this minute it was in this stage, this minute was in this stage, this minute was in this stage, every single minute. And we report that directly in HubSpot natively on the object. But we also like to abide by a few things that happen with your business. So you're able to assign your business hours. So again, we have a different bucket for time during working hours and time outside of working hours that we store. So you set your time zone, very important, and your business hours. You can also add holidays. So I can add a holiday that would basically go against the SLA. So obviously the timer would be paused during your holiday hours. Then you can look at your ticket and your deal stages. So we need to know as an app, we need to know, hey, what do you consider a closed stage? And also, when do you want the timer to pause? So you can actually pick that within your tickets and or your deals. And then we get to the juicy part, which is going to be your SLA policies. So here's my 5 alarm. So I can look at my current SLA policies and see their time, object with the ticket deal. You can assign everything or your time targets here as well. So you'll be able to, once you kind of create one, you'll be able to set your time targets for tickets, your time to first response and your time to close. So you'll be able to assign that within the back end here. But let's get into the nitty gritty of a ticket and what you could see on it. Just look at this SLA health check ticket. So in the sidebar of a ticket or a deal, or whatever your timed object, you'll be able to see a CRM card. I actually need to disconnect. Let's get on another one. This is my old one. I got so many different ones.
You do some work in HubSpot. It looks like, Dax.
A couple things, man. Just a couple things. You didn't see anything there. So I think we might have some. I actually want to keep that one open though because I have some reports built. But let's look at the sideline of a ticket. I think I got some time in here, but I could talk through it. It's pretty simple. You're able to see your total time working, your total time pause, and on each object, which I can show here now that I'm like streaming all crazy.
Okay, so I'm going to write it out in the chat then. So you said time working, time paused.
Yep, time working. You can see time paused. You can see, and then you can see the time in each stage, but I'm going to be able to show that right here, even though I don't have Timerman on this particular item. But what's key here is that we take this time in minutes and we place it on the object so you can natively report on it. So you can see it's even a shout out to the origins here of Appcomist. You're able to see all of the different stages. So I see pipeline 2, time and stage close, time and stage early close. So these are all the different stages, and these would have your timing within them. So I'm trying to scroll. I know my computer's actually acting crazy now that we're streaming and all this fun stuff. But you're able to see the first response time in minutes, how many times it's paused. You'll see your SLA status, right? And you'll get actually a reason why it missed the status. So for example, was it time to first response? Was it time to close? What was the reason? All of this is natively on the object. So total time to close was 921 minutes. The time to first response was still on it because we don't have an SLA. Time to close was missed. We have a time zone offset, total minutes, total working minutes. So you have a lot of different things. So we have the SLA policy that was assigned. So these are all the SLA policies, and we assign these via workflows. So that's one of the bigger things that's a big difference. So I can actually jump over to the workflows, and then I'll load up this dashboard while I'm working, so I can do some things at the same time.
Love it.
So let's look at this 5 alarm. Let's look at this 5 alarm policy. So again, HubSpot's native SLA will only allow you to assign an SLA to either a low status, medium status, or priority status, basically low, medium, or high. Well, what we're able to do is we're able to build any type of workflow. So as crazy as you can get with a workflow, then you can assign an SLA policy. And that's what we look at for our kind of auditing purposes. So in this one, we just say, hey, the ticket, the ticket is associated with a company where the company name is HubSpot. And the ticket description has ASAP. So then that'll assign that policy for 5-alarm, and we run it right there. So again, to take it back a step, Timerman allows you to time every ticket or deal to the minute by stage, create SLAs around that time, send out alerts, and actually have visual representations of that on the sidebar CRM card of a ticket. But guess what? Now we're actually able, with a new update that we've seen, we're able to add kind of color-coded tags and alerts on CRM cards. So that's brand new. So we're actually going to be updating Timerman to have you have like a red, like a picture. You can actually add an image as well. So I can have a big red that this is like, this has missed, missed SLA, do all this stuff, right? So we're able to evolve these apps based upon the evolution of HubSpot. So we're going to really be able to improve Timerman. Quick glance, you could say, oh, this one's approaching or this one is done, and actually have your own custom images, which would be hilarious. Like in the back end, to be able to upload an image to tell your people that this is a problem. So that's when we talk about how we assign SLAs. Let's talk about the meat, which is the reporting.
Before we do that, Dex, that's amazing. Quick summary on once I've installed Timerman, did you say that it'll go back and report on what has happened, or did I hear that wrong?
You heard that correct. So we're going to actually audit the origins of every ticket that you have and deal, because there are timestamps of when it was created. So we look at the create date and that time, and then we go every single minute and see where it was at. Okay, so great. It takes a lot of processing power.
I do an install, I get an audit of what has happened, but then I also, because I've now decided that I want new statuses or more, I get all of the reasoning moving forward based on the new statuses I've defined, and that gets to, and I get all of the past historical information that I can use to define my future state. I love that. I just wanted to succinctly call that out because that's pretty amazing. So reporting is what you were getting into. Awesome.
Yeah, we're getting to the reporting. And just to touch on the timing and when that updates, obviously this is not a real-time update. HubSpot does not support sockets or nor sprockets, but we update everything between 10 and 15 minutes. So even if you had an SLA that was a response time of 5 minutes, you may not see that updated within that 5 minutes, but let's say in 15 minutes, you would see that actually was done in 5 minutes, right? So all the timing is accurate, but our updating based upon all the limitations that we have to skip around with HubSpot is we're able to update this within every 10 to 15 minutes. So that's just a call out. That's a call out there so that expectations are managed, because we cannot update this in real time over the millions and millions of rows of data that we have to process every single day. So just a call out there. Yeah, this app is probably the toughest app. This was the toughest app to build, just because of how much stuff gets done. But let's look at the reporting. So, as you are, like we always say at A Labs, as good as you are with HubSpot reporting is as good as you can see all the data, because we make sure everything is native. So you're able to see average ticket times by agent and seeing when, how long it's been in new, how long it's been waiting in contact. You can measure this by hours if you just did the math and did divided by 60. You could do it in seconds if you're really crazy, but you could see your missed SLAs by agent and see how many they've met and missed. You can see the SLA policies that each agent has worked through, average time to close by rep, SLA status breakdown of seeing all the SLAs tickets the different tickets you have by count, missed by SLA policy. So you can see what policies are causing people to miss, deal velocity. So you can actually measure your deal velocity of how long does it take for a deal to close on average right? You can see people that are, why is this one always waiting on you, Grant, in the waiting on you stage? Like, why is that? You can have all these reports. And remember, not this data natively. You can actually build out alerts and email automations and anything you want when things happen. So you could say, hey, my SLA policy may be my SLA policy may be my time to first response, my time to close, but I have the ability to build whatever policy I want and enact it whenever I want. Because again, you have data. I could say I need all appointments scheduled to be done in 500 minutes, Or I need all appointment schedule, qualified to buy, and presentation schedule be done in 1,000 minutes as a group. And if these maths add up to less than or over 1,000, or I could even do an alert that says when it's at 900, send out the email. You got 100. You got an hour and a half left to get this done. Anything you want to do is possible because this data is natively. So you can see average time and stage by company, photo bean, whoever that is, funny. You have average in hours, so we have this broken down into hours here. So, but you get the 0.99 hours because we're not doing the whole minutes thing. So again, tons of data. We have working minutes by time per ticket. It's a lot of stuff. HubSpot's even crazy. Look at this. This is crazy. So you
That's
can see like all the
such rich data because you can report on these similar things, but like you're saying, Dax, you can't have this granularity with what HubSpot has natively. You need Timerman to get these minutes and time spent. I mean,
by stage.
yeah,
That's the thing. So you get time by stage out of the box. I think HubSpot gives you maybe hours in a stage or a days in a stage, but you don't get minutes in a stage if you're actually moving around. So you get a lot of flexibility with this granular data on the object. So yeah, it's a powerful one. But let's talk about Service Hub as a whole a little bit and what people know about Service Hub and what people
hmm
sell for how your clients, if you're an agency listening in, what do you tell your clients about Service Hub, right? The challenge that we're trying to overcome here, Grant, is that HubSpot is selling what Service Hub does, right? And agencies are talking to their clients and their prospects about what Service Hub does, right?
right.
And it does a few things. It has conversation inbox. It does have SLA out of the box. Now it has a customer portal out of the box, and it has tickets. And that's that, right?
hmm
But let's change the conversation to what HubSpot can do. And Timerman is a great example and a great app to think about the things that you can do. I'd like to turn off my screen share just so I don't. Let's see, I don't even know how to do that. I'll probably end up disconnecting. Stop streaming.
Got it.
Did I? Am I still here?
You're still here.
Man, you can tell I'm a noob at this, man. But nonetheless, so let's talk about like what can Service Hub do. So we built a few cool things with Timerman that elevate Service Hub just as a talking point. One of the things is gamification of your service team. So if you're dealing with your SDRs and your AEs as well as your customer service team, people know that the phone gets heavy and customers get really hard to respond to when they're asking the same questions, right? So how do you gamify? Like we talk about, adding negative behavior and saying, oh, you took too long with your SLA expired, like you got to go home. Or you could actually talk about how do you reward great behavior, over the top behavior.
Right,
And
right.
Timerman setting up a pseudo gamification system with your response scores. For example, let's say that this week our service team of 30 people, we're working on time to first response. Where we've been seeing, based upon our Timerman reports, that a lot of people are missing SLA time to first response on
Okay.
all of their tickets. So how do we gamify that? Instead of saying you need to do it by this time, how about if you get it done in 20 minutes, you get 10 points towards your service score, your super service score, right?
Mm,
Say that 20 times. You can add 10 points, easily done via workflow, increment value by X. Or if you have Ops Hub, you could easily take this data and then increment that value. If they time to close is under an hour, double their current service score, just a times two, boom. So now you can have an actual dashboard and a report weekly on using this time along with using increment score field on
right.
the ticket or on the user or in a hub DB field table.
hmm
You all of this, and now you can have a report and a dashboard that could be on a TV screen that shows like who's in the leaderboard with their super service score points, right? And now you
Yes,
can see it,
yes.
gamify all of that automatically, have it reset at the end of each week, give out your scores like, oh, you get a purple pen. Oh, you get one of those cool wallets that the stuff shoots out of, right? Like you can gamify your service team. And now you could talk about like, imagine if a HubSpot rep or an agency rep was talking to a client about, think about all the stuff you can do
Right.
with Service Hub. Like Zendesk doesn't have that, but HubSpot does with the combination of these apps, right?
Makes
It's about
sense.
the potential.
The leaderboard having you're probably making it in your reports anyway. But why wait to the end of the week,
Right.
end of the month, end of the quarter? Why not daily, weekly, ongoing, that you're seeing who the leaderboard is, and I can work harder at the end of the day, or I can come in early and get started ahead of time because I saw that, hey, I'm lagging and I'm bringing up the tail end of my team, and I don't want to be that person. I think that sort
Yeah,
of
exactly.
transparency is not just fun for some people. It's also feels more professional that they have transparency into their actions. That feels great.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing. I mean, I've been in a call center and seen kind of you hear the gong ringing, you see the number people erasing their numbers, putting the numbers up, and they're looking at the board and they're like, I need to be like that, right? So it's all about having something to look forward to. Even life, right? It's always about
Hmm.
having something to look forward to. We want to look forward to the next trip, to the next vacation, and in kind of the North American, we always look forward to the weekend, right? So having that and out of the box Timerman functionality is huge. Another example, like let's talk about your hiring pipeline. So a lot of people use their hiring pipeline in HubSpot as a deals pipeline, right? So of course,
Hmm.
out of the box, HubSpot's not able to do any type of timing on deals at that granularity or that reporting. But what Timerman can allow you to do is actually see the velocity of your hiring pipeline, see how long it takes someone to go from a prospect to an actual signed contract on average. And you could actually forecast your hiring based upon that timing. Do I need to put more people in my pipeline? What is our
Mm.
average close? How long? Where do people get hung up on? Oh, they get
You
hung up
just
on the
said
application. Like,
forecasting.
well, now you could see, hey, how it takes me an average of 2 weeks to prospect to onboard, right? I could see that based upon the data of the timeline and the deals. And oh, but some people go quicker, some people go faster. But now I know, hey, we're seasonal. We know we're going to be picking up a lot in October. I need to at least X. I need to hire X amount of people. I need X amount of time, X amount of people in my pipeline based upon these. And I need to work on that appointment scheduled timeline because it looks like people are taking too long to get scheduled. Like there are people sitting there for days and days. So you're optimizing the efficiency of your hiring pipeline using Timerman and HubSpot deals. And that's something that you
Optimizing.
can, yeah, you could, it's something you could sell to a prospect, you could sell to a client. HubSpot can sell as a use case, right? Along with
Right.
this app. So that's that big conversation we're talking about. We got to stop selling what it does. We got to start selling what it can do and that possibility and having concrete examples of how you can make this happen in HubSpot and just delight customers, right? Delight the process, save time. Well, you want to save, you want to be efficient, you want to save time. That's what these numbers to the minute tell you.
I love that, Dex. That makes so much sense for a hiring manager. Whether you don't have to be a HR firm, you don't have to be, you don't have to be someone that's doing short work, or you don't have to be an agency that's only placing people. It's even within your own business, your own HR department, you have some sort of process. So put that in HubSpot, and when you have Timerman, you're knowing now and tracking the the hiring, then the onboarding. I mean, that'll just move right in, of course, to then how are you recognizing people, and that might get to a whole nother thing. But if you're going to be tracking people all along the way as they're inside a company, you have a process for as you hire them and onboard them. So using Timerman to know what stage you're in, yeah, make it more efficient, make it more clear.
Yeah, I mean, I say that because we at Aptitude 8 use all our apps for one reason or another, but we definitely use Timerman to see our hiring pipeline and how fast people are moving. Are they moving slow? Where are they getting caught up? What stage can we improve? It's a big deal for us as we are a growing company. We're hiring, by the way.
Right.
So it's everyone's hiring right now, actually, because there's lots of things to do.
So what I'm
But
hearing you saying,
in
Dex,
reality, yeah,
right, is that there are processes that you as a business follow, and you've taken the time and gained the experience to have a process that to you works. And so with Timerman, what you're basically enabling is, let's make sure that that process is working as we intend it to, with the scoring that we care about. And so now it's, maybe you have conversations that are qualitative, but you have the quantitative data to have a real conversation.
absolutely. And one of the things too is it's just about where you don't have this visibility. It's all about that hidden math, right? Like if you don't have the visibility of that time, which is super important, right? You just don't know where you can improve. That which is not measured cannot be improved. And we are trying to,
Yes.
unsheath that improvement sword and make sure that you can see that time, whether it be tickets, whether it be deals. Soon to be, what if it's custom objects with their custom pipelines? So these are all big deals. I know we have, my last example was as we build out this for custom objects. One of our use cases for a prospect right now is they have an insurance policy that goes through certain stages, right? It's not a deal. It's attached to a deal, but it's its own object that has its own properties, its own mechanisms, and they want to be able to time how long they have this in each of these stages. So even when you're working with custom objects and things that are special, unique to your business, we want to be able to time those as well, because now that you have custom object pipelines, you you got to be able to make that time. You got to be able to make those measurements. You may have things that need to, alerts that need to go off or this like that, or you may have some sort of contractual obligation to have this done at this time, and you need to report it. You may need to report to the FDA. How long was this
Right.
done? Was this done at these times?
Right.
Like, there's so many different reasons, because it's time. It's the essence of which we all live by, and to have that within HubSpot CRM, within any object that you would want, obviously coming soon, custom objects. You need to see this, and you need to have it, because it exists no matter whether you think it does or not. You need the time. You need to have it, and Timerman is here to help.
That's an interesting one for me. HIPAA compliance and the healthcare industry really has lots of what happened and when, and they do, like you just said, have to report what was happening and at what stage in the process of processing this insurance claim or what have you. The big ones were insurance claims, but then actually the care that was given. So there were these two pieces, and it's like the business
Right.
of healthcare, but then also just the healthcare itself. But there are so many steps, and so it's not the fact that there's the steps; it's the fact that there's time in each one, and how long was it spent, and what was done during that time. That's a big one. I like that you opened up that in my brain. So healthcare field, insurance. I mean, even construction. As you're going through construction phases, there's all of the
Mhm.
onboarding and making sure that contracts were signed in a timely manner or something was sent and received. Contractually, that's a legality that by certain dates things are sent. And then the approval process has happened. Once the approval process and all that has happened, you can now green light, get past that stage gate, so that then you can just fire in all your development and construction personnel, whether that be an architect or if you're looking for a general contractor. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's all
man, it
sorts of
is all about
timers.
time. So much time. So that's why this is kind of an app that everyone can use. If you use deals and you sell using deals, you can use Timerman to see your efficiency and your deal velocity of how long things are going, how long things have been at each stage. If you use tickets, obviously you could build all your reports, build all your alerts of how long things are happening by rep. See if there's any like stragglers, see if there's any superstars that can move around, determine team lead. You can use it for your HR pipeline, for hiring, for deals. You can use it for soon to be custom objects. So if you have something specific to your business, you need to time that. Again, it's more than SLAs. That's why it's called Timerman. It's not SLA plus or something. It is, the SLAs are one aspect, right? The SLAs are at one aspect of this, but timing is everything. And auditing and being able to see all the different times that things happen, or how long things are in each stage, and sending out the alerts, the in-app notifications, the emails, triggering other workflows when things happen. It's really powerful, and behind the scenes it is a megalith of of things that are needed to make this like happen on the side. So but again, that is Timerman in a really large nutshell.
The
Call it a
largest,
it's a very large yeah, it's one of the Guinness Book of World Records largest Mr. Planter's nutshells
Mr. Planet,
possible.
Monocle Man,
Yeah,
nutshells.
yeah, it's a big one. So but
On
again,
Twitch
that is
Dex,
Timerman. Let's do this.
we had uh we had two questions come up. Can format be changed to be from total minutes to automatically calculate hours or days?
Yes.
You can run
So we had
calculations.
a report. Yeah, you can run your calculations on that. Again, when you do calculations into out from minutes into hours, as you saw, if you just run that back, you'll see that it goes to like 16.99, right? That's 16.99 hours. So you kind of, the math hours are a funny thing, since there's no real like time stamp field that we can edit and keep on an epoch. So there's a couple different ways that you can do that, but you can do the standard calculation to get into days and to get into minutes. You just end up with the decimal style. It won't be, 16 hours and 15 minutes. That's something that's not
Mm-hmm.
supported by HubSpot, unfortunately.
Received. And
Great question.
secondly, so it would display as say like 4 days, 12 hours, 32 minutes. Mm.
Yeah, see that one we're not able to do because we can't do math on it. It's not a number field at that point. So you would have to do, I mean, with if you had OpsHub, you could build that mechanism to do so, but that turns into a text field, which is hard to, you can't increment that. You'd have to rewrite it. And what we're
Every
doing is
time.
we're writing ourselves, but it's a number field so that you can do math on it. And
That
HubSpot
makes
doesn't
sense.
have that property for days, weeks, hours, minutes type. That's not even like, it's like a weird field anyway.
Yeah, that would be a different one.
That'd be a really weird field, but it's probably useful. I would love to have that because
Yeah.
then, you know, it brings us back to, and that's a great question because it brings me back to a concept that we have. It's called yeah, actually I want to just keep my mouth shut because that's
Nick,
gonna be
Nick,
that's something for another master class.
Nick asked that question, and that is great. You can make, I know, a workflow, and I've seen this from Karen and Mandy over at Digital Reach, where you can take different properties and then concatenate them basically into another property. And so you can see basically those things. So you could do a calculated field. You could then run a workflow that's concatenating the calculation from the days, weeks, and minutes, and then put that into another property you've made to show that maybe. And maybe that's what you want to see on a record because you're looking for a quick snapshot. But that's how I would probably go about
Correct.
it, Nick. And I love that question. I'm sure, Nick, you were trying to broaden the idea
Yeah,
here, so appreciate that.
and that's what we do on our sidebar, which I didn't show. Is for your quick glance of how long
Mm.
something has been in a given thing, we do hours, minutes, seconds. But that's because we do that calculation on our end and we display it as such. So as far as putting it, that is not in a that's not in a property. That's just on a visual. It's on a visual sense there.
Did you have one more uh, dashboard or something to show? You had something up that
With
you said.
regards,
No.
oh, this is I'm not, no, I do not. I'm going to look and see if I can illustrate the answer to I believe Nick's question of
Hmm.
showing hours, minutes, seconds, just so we could see um, if I can see what's going on there. Let's see. I think I might have one somewhere, but I can you can see it illustrated on our app page, kind of the hours, minutes, seconds there. So I will have to show another time.
All right, so with that up on the screen now, you can see Timerman is in the ecosystem on the marketplace. So head over to your portal and you will find Timerman in your portal. It's called, why does it say Timerman SLA, Dax? Let's get that out of there.
I need it because I need to optimize for SLA because it does do
Oh, I
SLA
heard.
and it does it really
Heard,
well.
heard.
But it is called Timerman. Timerman
Received.
SLA is the true name.
Uh,
I
so
refer to it colloquially as Timerman.
colloquially, Timerman. Search for Timerman. You can install it right in your portal, directly into your portal. You can head over in HubSpot over to the HubSpot Marketplace, search Timerman, and you can click install on Timerman. It'll install right into your portal. Try it out. Tell us what the use case is. So, at mention online A8 Labs and Dax Miller, and let them know the use case that you're thinking for adding time to the process you're probably already tracking in HubSpot. You're probably already doing. You've probably trained and you want your people to have adoption on. Well, what better way than to have a leaderboard? What better way than to score them and give them let's say a raise or social credit for having done the thing you asked in the time you want. Install Timerman and you're able to now run the scores on the time it took. Run a leaderboard on the time it took. Timerman will do that stuff. Yeah.
It's a fun one. Big app, always open for feedback, always open for ways to improve, always looking for things that we can add. So again, I thank you very much again, Grant, for this platform to talk about ways that we can help these HubSpot users live their best life, work their best work, play their best play, however they need to do it. So big ups to Sprocketeer, big ups to Grant. Appreciate this. I've been Dax. This
All
is
the love,
A8 Labs.
Dax.
We love everything we do. Hope to see everybody inbound. quick shout out to Inbound. We'll be seeing a lot of people there. We will be making some videos. We'll be doing some high fives and lots of giggles.
Yes, some inbound love for sure. See everyone at Inbound next week. Make sure you go and check out Dax and his team at Apt28 and A8 Labs, and say hi. Say you saw him here on the masterclass. Give a make
So in the
a
masterclass.
make a secret handshake with Dax. I want
I'll
Dax
take
to have
it.
some secret handshakes.
Yeah, I'll take that. Throw it up. You know what I mean? I like that. We'll do all that. We'll do all that. You know, it's like fun. You can't like shake your own hand really well. Why is that? Why is that? They could have made it like different. But anyway, who is they? So appreciate the love, Grant.
All the best.
We'll catch
Dax.
everyone at the next master class. Thanks for having me, man.
Take care.
Peace out.